The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down. I remember hearing a song by Gordon Lightfoot back in the 80s when I lived in California. It had a profound effect on me, and I asked my grandpa, "Is that really true?" And he said, "Oh yes. My grandpa was a merchant marine sailor in World War II in Vietnam." When I moved to Duluth in 1989, I stood there in the spring and watched the waves on a windy day, and they weren't as large as the storm the Fitz went through, but they were impressive. It dawned on me, these aren't lakes, these are inland seas. But there's a lot of talk, the experts back and forth about, the Coast Guard said in 75 the hatch covers were not properly secured. You look at the damage to the bow of the Fitzgerald, and you look at the fact that it broke in half and that the stern is upside down on itself. And people try to say that broke, as it hit the bottom. That makes no rational sense. You can't have the stern do an about flip. I believe one of the documentaries I just saw that they had 33-foot waves and a rogue wave hit it. They had a hurricane west wind. It was a unique combination of the perfect storm situation for both it and the Arthur M. Anderson. And my landlord, Chuck Montgomery, who's now deceased, was on the Arthur M. Anderson that evening. He worked 4 on, 4 off in the engine room, and he told me the story because he saw my collection of ship books when I rented an apartment on 1 West 4th Street in Duluth, Minnesota. And I was shocked. For me, not being born in the Midwest, to come into direct contact with somebody in direct contact with that disaster was bone-chilling. But I believe a rogue wave, possibly a 50-footer, with the wind constantly pushing, is what did it in. And a lot of people commenting from the Midwest on this don't realize that sometimes the ore carriers were towed across the ocean for scrap. They get to the Atlantic Ocean with rollers, they crack in half. The lake ships are not designed for big rollers. There's nothing to support the midship. So you get a 50-foot rogue wave, and any part of that ship lifts out of the water, and you've already got a list. It makes sense that it twisted, snapped, and the stern fell on itself. Fascinating stuff. Sad tragedy, but it still moves me to this day. The song is immortalized by Gordon Lightfoot. Shame he left this world last year.